It is the morning of the third day of new teacher orientation, and I am so exhausted. Yesterday, in the morning, I had a massive migraine and just kind of took me out for the morning, but then I felt better in the afternoon. But I just feel like so exhausted, and I don't know if it's just because of the new learning or because I'm finally back into school mode of being up by 7:30, out the door by 7:30, and then getting to the school by 7:55. So being there from about 8 to 4. I don't know. Last night I stayed up really late too, trying to work on research for my classroom and things like that. So that might be part of the problem. I stayed up till about 11 last night doing two things. One was research about project-based learning and how to kind of kick off that. Thank you, Kaylee. Your card stock came in, so I'm going to make these into baby succulents, 3D succulents for my classroom. I made this banner a few days ago, but I had to remake it because when I pulled off the vinyl, the contact paper stuck to the back of the vinyl and ended up ruining the whole vinyl piece. So I had to recut it last night and reline it up because it was bigger than the mat. And then I had to make a little present for my daughter's violin teacher. So I wanted to work on so many more things last night, but I just ran out of time and energy. Hey everyone, we are here now in day 3 or 4 in my classroom. Just got back from district training. Lisa has been here all day painting those cabinets for me, so she's been a great help. I just got a new kidney table. I got to lift up a chair, so you'll just see me kind of like running around trying to get through everything right now. I have a ton of stuff on all the desks right now, just kind of like scattered around. Because that's kind of what happens with teaching, is that you just kind of start to spread out your stuff to kind of organize it and try to figure out how everything will go together. So I have like all my teacher stuff. I'm gonna hopefully put together my toolbox today. So that's what you'll be seeing from us today. So another little noticing that I'm doing as I move around the classroom are really looking at space and thinking about like backpacks, like when the backpacks sit in the back of the chairs, how much room do I actually have behind each student to move around? And then just the difference that 1 little inch can make, like moving my horseshoe table. If I move it over just a little bit, will I be able to do this? And then opening up doors to make sure that the door's still open. So right now, with the horseshoe table, I now have to reconfigure the classroom because there are very specific spots in the classroom that I want to make sure that are accessible. One of them is the carpet, or the downtime where I get to do read alouds and just need to gather them together as a group. And then the library, which I think is such a key piece of a classroom. What kind of quality library items do you have there? So I'm kind of all over the place right now. I'm trying to make room for all of the tables, but also make sure that there's enough room for the kids to move around too. This is where I'm at right now. But because this is such a big unused space, I'm trying to decide whether or not that I could maybe pull my horseshoe table in here. But when we do that, that cuts off access to this computer. I have my library pretty much set where they want to go. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables, a horseshoe table. And then I have these bins that I was thinking about using for their academic materials, so things like their notebooks, because they wouldn't have them in the desk formation. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm thinking about putting these guys stacked on top of each other, some over here and maybe some over there, or just make a whole line across the counter. Another thing that I actually thought of is actually extending them onto the end of the table, so that way it kind of has a spot where you can put all of your items. That way their table is completely clear with a maximum amount of working room. Started to put up the student work area. They're going to put their names up over there. Still have all the curriculum that I need to get rid of and carry out there. I need a label for my library, but I have those awesome curtain lights that make it a little bit warmer. Library slowly starting to come together a little bit more. I have my classroom tables ready to go. Still cleaning out some of the stuff the teachers left before. I had put up some more little lights over there just to kind of make it nice and warm and inviting for kiddos, and started to set up my teacher area again because it's still not working the way that I want it to work. And got to clean up all this stuff. Started to set up my teacher toolbox. So I started without the labels, and I just started putting things in here that I know that I use all the time. Thumbtacks, quilting pins, staples. These big ones hold big binder clips, and Post-its. So I'm going to start with labeling the things that I need instead of buying off of Teachers Pay Teachers, because this is custom to what I need. And then I got my crayons finally. Yay! See all the crayons that I was telling you guys about that I've saved over the years instead of trashing them. But like I said, I'm always out of green, which the new, you guys have helped me replenish. And then I'm always out of red, but this is what I'm starting with this year. So that makes me super happy. And then like whites and stuff. So that is neat. I'm gonna try to put labels on them this year. We'll see how that goes. So that's where we are right now. I am really happy with how it's coming together. Once the cabinet's dry, I can start to pull apart all of the storage stuff that I have, and then really start cleaning up the area. So slowly but surely, day by day. It is 7:14 at night, and I am finally back home after another very long day of just beginning new things. Today I learned about engagement opportunity, which was really great because there were a lot of things that I had to remember from Kagan, who does a lot of cooperative learning strategies. So I was reminded by, hey, here's other ways to do, it's not just think, pair, share, it's not just, random reporter, there's other ways to make sure there's active engagement in your classroom. So we had that for the first few hours. No, for the first hour we had where to find resources in our district, and then we had from 9 to 12 we had the Kagan strategies, and then 1 hour for lunch, which was a luxury, and then after that went over to my school and did all of the things that you saw before. I just have to say a really huge thank you to Lisa for giving up some of her weekdays to really get my classroom in order with just a list, because without it I would not have any time, because I always try to think about why it's so difficult to do all of these PDs, and I think it has to do with the amount of learning and the amount of just pulling yourself together that you have to do, because you have to really think about, this is what I've been taught in education, this is what my training is in, this is what I've gotten 6 years of education in, this is how I know how to practice teaching, this is the 4 or 5 different ways of teaching reading that I know. Here's what the research says, and now here's what the new district says that you're working in. So you kind of have to pull all of these pieces together and really form who you are now. It's a new opportunity to just learn new strategies, but then a lot of times the strategies are just reformatted in different ways. So that was what my day was like today. Came home with 2 awesome packages, so thank you so much for my supporters and really helping me out with my Amazon wish list. is what this day has been like in education. Truly exhausting. I'm really glad that I get the morning to work in my classroom, and then the afternoon we're doing what we call School 101, which is about the school. We're going to learn about the culture, we're going to learn about where things are, and then in the evening we'll be done, and then I have all weekend to work on setting up little things like my grade book and start my lesson planning, and then be ready for kids on the following week. So it's coming up so fast that I'm getting a little nervous. So that's all right now.